The female brain, it works in a variety of ways, it's funny to me because so many guys optimize their looks for women, not realizing that women are more mental and emotional beings above anything else. Like, dudes will sit there, looks max, till they fucking die, live by looks maxing. But you have to realize that women don't think the same way as men. Yes, we are physical. Women aren't necessarily like that, right? This is the reason why a chick can be with a toxic guy and not leave him ever. He could be tapped, he could be chopped, he could be ugly as fuck, but she'll still be with him because of how he stimulates her mind. And in comparison, because you're a looks maxing little dweeb, you're just boring. All you do is looks max all day. You haven't had enough experiences to develop your personality to the point where you're actually entertaining for women. And I don't mean entertaining in the sense that you have to be a clown and a woman has to want to be with you because you're a circus act. I mean, like, how are you stimulating her mind? Are you stimulating her emotions? Are you, there's different things different ways you can stimulate a woman mentally, right? Now, you don't have to be toxic to get women, but, that's a different topic for a different day. What I want to talk about is women's tests. Now, tests are something that any woman will do, right? They'll do it before you're in a relationship with them. They'll do it during you're in a relationship with them. You just have to understand that these tests never end. These are tests that are going to keep going until the day you die, until the day you're, no longer with that person. Okay? And you have to understand, even if you find a new woman, she's not going to stop testing you. And I believe that tests are important because if she really loves you, she will test you. They don't stop these tests because she wants to constantly test you as a man, to test your will, to test your strength, right? And once she feels that strength after you've just brushed that test to the side or you pass that test, quote unquote, I don't like saying pass the test because you're not passing a test, it's not an actual test, right? You either make sure that, you meet her standard or you're still at the standard that you once were when you met her. So you have to understand that these tests will never end, right? She wants to make sure that you're a strong man, the man that can lead her, the man that can lead a family, okay? Because there's not many guys that are like that. And you have to realize that through social media, dudes are influenced to be weaker. Through, just how the modern world is, not many guys are mentally strong. A lot of guys are weak mentally, physically, spiritually, in a lot of aspects, right? Because at the end of the day, if you let her test break you, she can see you're mentally weak and you're originally maybe putting up a facade, or you're never putting up a facade and you're just a little bitch to begin with, because you're not actually the man that you're portraying yourself to be in a lot of cases when you're putting up that facade. And it's very obvious when guys are doing that because they don't stick by their principles, right? If you have a principle, you stick by it. If you're a bitch and you're bitch made, then you're not going to stick by the principles, right? This is why at the end of the day, you need to be a high energy man. The man with the most energy, the high energy men are the men that get what they want in life. And that's because they don't let tiny things throw them off their path to greatness. They keep attacking their goals. They're relentless. They keep going for what they want. And they're not afraid of, the obstacles that are in their way in life. To a man that is weak mentally, they come home to a woman, the woman is bickering and nagging in their mind. That's how they view it. And because of that, they're like, why do you keep pestering me? Why do you keep annoying me? I've had such a hard day at work. Bro, it doesn't matter, right? The high energy man comes home, sees through the bullshit of the test and laughs it off. That's the man that achieves what he wants in life. He's relentless. He goes for what he wants and he doesn't give a shit, right? No little test is going to throw him off his path. No little test is going to, make him emotionally react to the point of, lashing out and losing his shit and just, not remaining in the state of being that he wants to be in, because control is the most important thing, right? If you're showing that other small things can take control of your mind and influence you in that negative way and make you start thinking negative, you are weak. You're a weak man, right? So she wants to test if you have what it takes to keep you sharp, to keep you on your toes. And this is why you can't fake being the man if you're not that man, right? Because eventually your true self will come out and she's going to be turned off once she originally sees that. You're better off being yourself from the beginning, a little bitch, than, being withered down until the point of, your true colors show. Because that's not respectful. Authenticity is respectful. Being a bitch and being exposed for being a bitch eventually is not respected by any women. They just wouldn't respect that, right? Most guys see these tests that women give them as terrible things because they don't like the bit of bickering. They're tired from work, like I said. They're a bit fucking bent. They're a bit gay. Because you have to understand, these tests aren't a bad thing. Most guys have it in their mind that women constantly do this shit because they hate them. But it's actually the opposite. Women only do these tests to if you first started dating, to see how strong you are mentally, and B, so she can, and to see that once you overcome those tests, her love for you is going to be so much stronger. And that's just how it is, right? She will test, she will bicker, she'll fight, she'll say bullshit, right? And she's not going to do that unless she loves you, because she wants to see how strong you are mentally. And she wants to make sure that you're still mentally strong as you once were, or just mentally strong in general, right? Women don't necessarily even know that they're doing these tests, right? So if she isn't testing you, then, and these tests, they come from a subconscious level, meaning if she doesn't test you subconsciously, she's not into you subconsciously, meaning she's checked out of the relationship, because I believe that love is hardwired into the subconscious. It's not a conscious thing. You're not like, I have to consciously love this. She's not like, I have to consciously love this man. She's like, oh, I love him. Maybe not no matter what, but I love him. And it's just, that's the thought. And it's just what hardwired into the back of her brain, right? An example of when a woman is testing you, she could be arguing with you. She doesn't care about the argument. She just wants to test your energy, your will, your resolve. She wants to test you as a man to know that you don't care. You don't give a shit. She might be arguing with you over the most bullshit thing. You don't give a fuck. You're just arguing for the sake of arguing too, because you find it funny and you love the game. You just love doing shit. You don't give a fuck if she's arguing with you, if she's bickering with you. You're just doing it for the love of the game, right? And as a high energy man, you play the game because you love the game. You entertain the bullshit and you laugh it off because it's just funny. Like, at the end of the day, why you as a man taking shit too seriously? You shouldn't be taking shit too seriously. Just have fun. Go through life as a fun person. Do fun shit. And at the end of the day, the energy you're reflecting out will be reflected back into all the people around you, right? And something that I've been theorizing on top of all of this stuff that I'm talking about is that in my mind, in some cases, and this is not all cases, so you've got to keep this in mind, a woman bickering and nagging can also be a cry for help. And it's not in all cases. So you have to distinguish where and when this is the case, where and when this is a reality, because more likely than not, it's probably not the case. But in some cases, it might be. She could be fighting with you because it's the last straw. She wants to see, does he still have what it takes? Is he still as strong as he was once upon a time mentally? Or maybe she's mentally checked out of the relationship and she wants to test you, and she wants to keep bringing up bullshit, because she just wants you to break up with her as opposed to her breaking up with you. But at the end of the day, this understanding in this situation has a level of nuance to it, and it is a little bit different. So you have to learn to distinguish, is this woman's test a good thing? Or am I actually being a bit of a pussy and she's finally reached the last straw and she wants to break up with me, right? And I only believe that that is the case if, she's trying to throw how Mary's at the wall, hoping you'll break up with her. And I think that that's just a level of self-sabotage because she doesn't want to be with you anymore and she doesn't want to be the one that initiates that breakup. She wants you to do it. But it's not, in most cases, I would say that's not what it is. But I think in terms of women's tests, you have to stop stressing. You have to stop being so in your head about how do I pass this test? How do I do this? What if she thinks differently of me? It doesn't matter at the end of the day, bro. If you're just first starting to see a woman and you're too worried about what she thinks of you, you're not going to leave a good impression because you care too much. When you care too much, like obviously you want to care, but when you care too much and this is a relationship with anyone, bro. If you're too invested in any relationship too early, like, there are women out there that are just going to leave you. There are women out there that are just going to air you. And women don't like it and they don't think it's attractive when you're too eager too early because it shows that you're not mentally able to have a high sense of self. You don't have a high sense of self because you put her above you. You're putting her above everything in your life because, oh my goodness, I found this girl. She's amazing. She's my world, blah, blah, blah. Women don't want that shit. They want to be a part of your life. They want to be a part of the journey. They want you to take them with you along the journey, but they don't want to be the center of your life because you're not providing for them. You're not taking care of them. You're not, doing things for them, right? You can only give a woman a good life if, it is a byproduct of your work. You're putting work into your craft, and therefore, as a byproduct of that work, you're providing for her, and that is caring for her. But it's not all the time women see it like that, and you have to understand that too. So there's a balance between everything, but that's a different topic for a different day again. All right, but in terms of women's tests, bro, they're not actual tests. You just live your life, be you, be authentic. And don't get too in your head about shit because at the end of the day, like shit's gonna happen, shit's gonna hit the fan sometimes, and you just gotta learn to deal with shit, bro. Like just how it is, right? Just don't be a bullshit artist. Don't bullshit yourself, and if you don't bullshit yourself, you're not gonna be bullshitting the world.